And we're live. Good evening. How we doing? Hope we're all good. Taking a significant risk this evening. Significant. We are in the Boeing 737-800 by PMDG. This is my first flight using it on stream. So if you're watching thinking you probably know better than me at any point during the flight, you're probably right. I feel like a fish out of water, to be completely honest with you. Fish out of water. Wow, the steering is really sensitive on these rudder pedals. That is like barely any movement doing that. Anyway, let's get ourselves up here. And we'll park up and talk through what we're doing. Okie dokie. So, if we go into plan. Wrong way. See, I don't know what I'm doing, do I? I'll zoom us out a little bit. Here we are, runway 26 right, Paris, Charles de Gaulle. If we step through our route, we are going to be heading out to the north on the Opale Sid, heading over the channel, hitting London, heading to the west, and then we will come in to Bristol. So this is basically the runway here, at which point we're going to dart off. Now if I consult the charts, which you can't see, I'm going to try and fix that so you can see my charts. We will dart off this way at 284 degrees. And we'll do a nice little loop around, 87 degrees, intercept CF09 and the glide slope, and that should bring us in. That's the plan. And you'll notice the route discontinuity here. It's basically when we hit Bristol, where we're going to take manual control, bring it round out, back around, and then we'll follow ourselves in on the ILS with a bit of luck. Keep in mind, I have not got a clue about many of the systems on the plane. I've done a little bit of reading, but not nearly enough. And there came a point where I thought, you know what, I've just got to stream with this thing, because that's like the best way to learn. Is to make the mistakes, and to learn from it, and move on. So, let's get that back into map. Cruising at 38,000. Now I've put that in the window, because we're going to use VNAV to do our flight today, vertical navigation, so the plane will work out how high it wants to be. We give it a maximum, and it works out how it wants to get there. I think that's how it works. Similarly, when we get to Bristol, I'll set us at 7,000, and it can work its way down to 7,000. We'll hit 7,000. Then on our way out and around to do that little loop, as I explained, I'll bring us down to the desired altitude, which is 3,000 feet. So, yeah, this could go badly. Not gonna lie, but I don't know. You just kind of got to do it sometimes, you know. Otherwise, I'm going to spend all this time kind of rehearsing off stream, and then every single time I do it, I'm going to find a problem, and that'll make me think, oh, I can't go on stream yet, and then that'll just go on forever. So, we're just going to do it, and I think we're basically ready to go. So, save messing about. Let's get going. I do love the sound of this plane. Keep us on the centre line. Wow, the rudder pedals are seriously sensitive on this. Rotate, let's go. Nice and steady, because we've got a long tail. Up we go. Gear up, thank you very much. Go. Try and do 15 degrees. Auto throttle's nice and armed. We arm LNAV. VNAV. Right. If I've got this right, which we will see very shortly. We will see if we start banking. Getting thrown around by the wind a little bit here. Look at that. Right, let's have a look at our legs. Yeah, so by PG 264 it's aiming to be at 7,000-ish feet and it's working that out dynamically, hence the values are changing. PG 265, 10,000. So that is encouraging me that the systems are working. Why are we at 230 knots? Get those flaps retracted. What's that saying there? But it's gone out now, whatever it was. Whatever it was, it's gone out. It's good to be back streaming again, though. Normal service, as of tomorrow, will be resumed. So we should start doing a bank to the right any moment. Was my TCAS off? It's better. Little things like that catch you out. Coming up on 10,000 feet, so when we come up on 10,000 feet, I'm hoping our speed restriction will disappear. There we go. Alright, landing lights off, turn off lights off. Oops. Logo light, position light, anti-collision light, wing light. We go. The LNAV is working, thank goodness. It'll be a long way to Bristol without it. A long, long way to Bristol. Go. Love that feature of the 737 actually. That dashed line representing your projected heading based on the inputs that you're given to the control surfaces. So now that should straighten up. Goody goody. Does anyone know the difference between N1 and speed? Not 100% sure. Let's have a look and see what our VREF is going to be on the way down. Don't know where to find that. Don't know where to find it. It's not being climb. Init ref? Here we go. Approach ref. So if we do flaps 40, we want 144 knots. Okay, I can do that. You can do that. So we're probably not actually going to be in the air that long, which is kind of the point of tonight's flight. It's the first stream after a while. Ease myself in, and secondly, learning a new aircraft. Just want to kind of keep it simple really for tonight. Where am I going? Progress. There we go. So an ETA of 16:53 UTC now then. Where's the clock on this thing? 16:53, 16:10 at the moment. Full disclosure, I did adjust the time. So we're not staring into the darkness, but that's fine. There's a lot of buttons back there. Surely they don't all work. No, they don't. The detail on this cockpit is amazing. Absolutely amazing. What's that? It's a lamp, I think. Oxygen masks. Chart lights. They've done such a good job modelling this. Gold star PMDG. Gold star indeed. So the next waypoint represents the end of our SID. The Opale SID, which more or less takes us to the coast by the look of it. Hey Remus, I hope I'm saying that right. How you doing? Thank you for coming along and joining us. Appreciate it. Right, so we should have a turn coming up any minute now. Zoomed in at 20 miles on this. That's fine. So far so good. We're up, almost at cruise. What airline am I flying? Just the stock PMDG livery, I'm afraid. Nothing fancy today. Nothing fancy. Usually I fly in my own colours, have my own livery. Guess you could say my own virtual little airline, but yeah. The point of today's stream is to actually fly the 737 with you all. Because I fly a lot of the A320 and this is all new to me. So the potential for things to go wrong is enormous. Absolutely enormous. I was saying at the start that I've been flying this aircraft for the past week or two, since it came out basically. I've been flying it offline. So, and every time I did that I would kind of find a new reason why I couldn't stream with it because I got something wrong. And I've just kind of had enough. I'm just going to stream with it, make all the mistakes in front of you all, and so be it. Is X-Plane 11 a good flight sim? Oh, do you not have it? I don't have X-Plane 11. I did play X-Plane 10 for a period. But that was very early on in my kind of simming. So I was doing literally everything wrong. I wasn't getting the most out of that sim by a mile. I would basically just pick a 747, take off, usually from the same airport, do a quick loop around and land. And that would be it. But you know, you've got to start somewhere. I think X-Plane 12 isn't going to be far. Not far at all. Let's get ourselves in the legs screen, shall we? Nice. In fact, we'll get these in a separate window and drag them over here so you can't see them. So we're almost at our cruise altitude. X-Plane 12 is out. I did not know that. It's Foot. Is that you from the other Foot account? Or are there two people called Foot? I think it's you. I think this came up last stream, but I don't remember the response. Yeah. No. It's the same. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Change your name. Got it. Hey, at least you can type more than one word into the chat. That's a good start. So we're basically going to hit our cruise altitude of 38,000 and then immediately descend. And now. No, it's good to be back streaming though. It's good to be back. This is the first one back for a little, well, I say a little while. It's been a few days, but it feels like ages. I feel like I've lost all of my like YouTube points with the algorithm. Have to build it back up. I think I'm going to start scheduling the streams as well, because just sort of going live randomly, you're relying on notifications quite a lot, which don't always work, and I suspect they probably haven't worked today. Yeah, the screenshots I've seen, it does look good. X-Planes 12 does look good, for sure. Though it's very hard to argue with this. But they really nailed it with the graphics. I think really they could probably do more with the graphics if they wanted to. I mean, I'm looking at my graphics card usage at the moment. It's sat at 58 to 60%. So it's what we're 58, 61, 59, 60, like bouncing around. Which is unusual, because normally a graphics card will be pegged at 100%. But in this game, it's the processor that holds everything up, because it mostly runs on a single thread or a single core of your processor. So if you buy a Ryzen 9 16 core 32 thread CPU, that's not going to help you here. Right, don't mind me, I'm just going to check some charts for a moment. So when we intercept the glide slope, according to the chart in Bristol, we need to be at 2,500 feet. So when we start descending, which really won't be long, first of all I'm going to set it in the window to 7,000, because we're going to arrive almost directly over Bristol Airport's runway at 7,000 feet. Then we're going to head out at 284 degrees, so sort of west-ish. Head out over the coast, bring ourselves around to 087 degrees, and be ready at 2,500 feet to intercept the glide slope. Oh, you just subbed. Awesome. Thank you so much. Genuinely. Really appreciate that. Trying to get to 1,000 subs desperately. I'm amazed we've gotten as far as we have, actually. The support has been incredible. So I thank you all for that. Hey, Smokey, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, we're doing okay. I mean, this is the easy bit, I guess. We've pointed the plane upwards, and so far it's complied. We've got the interesting bit coming now. We've also got our top of descent rapidly approaching. So I think this is where we hit our descent, or our cruise. And then we immediately start going down again, which is weird. So I think all I have to do is set this to 7,000. Think. This is where I start to become a little bit unstuck. Never quite sure what to do. Play a web browser flight sim. That's interesting. Alright, who's beeping and why are you beeping? Everyone be quiet. And by everyone I mean the alarms. I suppose you could play the Microsoft Flight Sim in the browser. Through Game Pass Ultimate. I don't know how the joystick would interact with that. That could be interesting. Right, so we are at top of descent, more or less. So what do I do? Start cranking it down? What will happen if I do that? It's just slow, isn't it? Come on, come on, come on, come on. 7,000. And then VNav. Hey, Catalin, how you doing? Why won't VNav engage? So I turn off that and then do VNav. Ah, what's going on? So, VNav. Why would it do it? Why would it do it? Why would it do it? No, I haven't tried the X-Plane 12 demo. No, I didn't even realise it was out, to tell you the truth. Altitude hold. Alt intervention. Then VNav, would that work? Does anyone know what to do? I'm stuck. Why won't it do it? I wish I was in the A320. I don't know what to do. I'm in the 737. This is my first time streaming in it, and I don't really know what I'm doing. Guess we just do level change. Would that do it? Guess we'll do it this way then. VNav engage. Does it engage? Altitude hold. Don't want it to hold. I want you to go down to 7,000. Go on. Oh, now it's gone on. Ah! Why is it doing that? Oh, that's distressful. I knew it'd end up like this. I started out with such high hopes. Right, I'm not going to touch anything until we're down. Unable cruise alt. What does that mean? Okay, so it thinks by big, which is this one here, will be at flight level 333. Hey Tom, how's it going? The flight is interesting, I'll say that much. Just got London coming beneath us, you can see the Thames there. Beneath us. Yeah, the flight could go horrifically, if I'm completely honest with you, Tom. This is the first time streaming with the 737, and yeah, so many things that are just catching me out. You become so accustomed to the A320 and all of its buttons and all of its features and functions, and then you step into this, and it's like, it's similar, but it's so different. Really fun though, really fun learning experiment, learning journey. I kept playing off stream, being like, I'm going to learn the 737 and then I will stream like an expert, and it became apparent pretty quick that that wasn't going to be the case. So I figured I'll just stream and make all my mistakes with you, and you never know, maybe somebody knows in the chat a little bit more than I about the 737, so could be a good opportunity to learn. There's Heathrow. Just coming into view there, I think. Absolutely, it is a part of learning. I think really with this whole YouTube thing, you've just got to be willing to sort of put your arms up in the air and be like, I don't know, and that's okay. For me, at least. Yeah, I'm not a qualified pilot. If I were, I think it would be fair that you expect quite a lot of me in terms of my flight sim ability, because I'm kind of worrying if I was bad and then flying real planes in real life. But yeah, as a hobbyist simmer, I think to go anywhere near YouTube, you have to be willing to just be completely open and be like, you know what, mistakes will be made, and that's fine, because we'll learn and we'll get better. And I think that's part of the fun, part of the appeal for me anyway. One thing I'm a little bit unsure of is why these are pink. I'm unsure. I mean, that looks like that. Ignoring unable cruise alt. I don't know what that's talking about. Seems like these should be of significance, and I'm not sure why. Not sure why. Same thing happened to me when I got into the cabin of the 777 for the first time after the A320. Yeah. Exactly the same, I can imagine. You get so used to the A320 and all of its niceties, all of its things that make flying it such a joy. It's so easy in so many ways. A little bit more going on up here. It feels like Airbus have got a more simplified system. There's a lot more buttons going on here, so that'll take a minute to get used to, but that's okay. And you know, just this, similar but different. You know, it's the same idea. Buttons down the side, text that you can, you know, have to make some sense of. It's not particularly clear. Just be listening until the landing. See you then. No worries. Take it easy, Tom. You listen away. Feels like quite a drop. What does the pink mean? What concerns me, does the pink mean that it can't do it, or it thinks it can't do it? It's more complicated when you play on Xbox. Oh yeah, what with a controller? Yeah, I hadn't considered that. Nevertheless, we have to be really grateful that it's on the Xbox. I think that's very cool that it made it to Xbox. So I'm guessing because the speed screen is blank, that means it's just going to follow whatever is down here. I presume. Presume, and I hope. Yeah, I think you're right. I do think you're right. I guess the a console is much more of a walled garden, I guess you could say. You kind of have to play by their rules a lot more, don't you? You can't just open up a file system and start dragging files around and make the sim do stuff. Wish I had 737. It's the dream. You can't get it. You on console as well, Foot? Can you get this on the console? I've got a funny feeling you can through the store. Didn't know that. You can get a 737 but not this one. Huh. So who makes it on the marketplace? No worries, take it easy, Foot. Nail that biology homework. Do us all proud. Right, well into the descent now, 20,000 feet, heading down to 7. I think I need to get my charts on the go. Right. Let's set in our nav. 110. 15. Do we get this on screen? Uh, 40 miles out. Okay, you concentrate. Don't worry about looking at the store. I need a little bit of drag, I think. Maybe... maybe we're just not close enough for it to appear. Not sure. So the plane should hopefully start descending. Why has that got a line through it? Is that because we're not in range? So many things I just don't know. It's so confusing. Have you got the frequency tuned both sides? Interestingly, no. Oh, you mean over here? I think the honest answer, Connor, is I don't know. Is it related to proximity? Because we're not near enough to it yet, maybe? I think I've got the right frequency. Let me check the chart. .15. 110.15. Huh. I remain confused. Right, we've got 25 miles till we hit Bristol Airport. is 5,000. 570. We'll call it 5,500. Bedrock 3D, okay. Connor, thank you for helping, by the way. Right, init ref. Where do I go for init ref? Init ref. ILS 110.15. What's GS? That glide slope? That must be glide slope. Wow. Colour me confused. Okay, we're going to put ourselves into heading select, I think. And we are going to get ready to dive out. 284 degrees. Yeah, still not sure why the maybe I've got the wrong frequency. See, you should have a course figure. Next to ILS frequency. Not sure. I may just have to focus on what's in front of me for now, I think. Zero 087. And hit VOR loc and it should go green. That one. 267. Do I need to be an LNAV? Road just below it. So yeah, we're heading out here according to the chart, and we'll work our way back in. How do I set my own speed? Both should go green. No, not on VATSIM cam, no. This is literally an experiment flight. Speed and full. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Offline for now. Though I will say that sim is an ambition. Let's put it that way. Bring ourselves down to 4,000. Yeah, I can imagine it. It just like opens up a whole new world of possibilities with the sim, really. Though for now, yeah, intimidating is the word. I'm bad enough on my own, never mind being able to annoy everyone else. What was that beep? Okay, so we're going to head on out, I think, to around about here. And we'll make our turn. I think I'll try and hand fly it. Oh, so you know you're near target altitude. Awesome, thank you. I'm glad you guys are here. This is my first time flying the 737 after like weeks and months, years almost, in the A320. I saw this got released the other day and I couldn't help myself. I was like, I have to buy it. Let's get our speed down a little bit, shall we? 170, is that reasonable? Feels reasonable. Do you generally leave auto throttle on till kind of like almost the very last minute? Is that the done thing? Okay, appreciate it. Usually aim for 170. Okay, cool. So, gut feeling wasn't far off. That's reassuring. I'm still getting used to the trim. The trim is really throwing me off with this aircraft. Like, big time. Generally leave auto throttle on till you're almost on the ground, sort of like minimums, or doing some reading online, there was different schools of thought on it. Some people were saying about 1,500, 1,000 feet you should generally take manual control, but then you know what people are like on forums, they're generally quite opinionated even if they're wrong, so never quite sure. Right, oh, wrong one. .087, let's go. Okay, gotcha, thanks. Take it off when you get to 1,000 feet. Feels like we're banking a bit too aggressively. I may just try and box this off a little bit. Oh, nice one. Cheers. Oh, I'm so glad you are here. All of you. Honest answer, Cam, I don't know. If I'm being brutally honest. I think I have down there. I've got my diamonds. I should be able to get down if I got my diamonds. I was actually thinking I was going to hand fly it. So, perhaps I should probably do gear down at this point. My lights on. Well aware I'm probably doing all of this wrong as well, but that's fine. Alright, how do I get it out of autopilot? Is it doing that? Establish ILS. Okay. Why am I still falling so much? Am I a pilot? No. Can you tell? No, thankfully not a pilot. This trim is tripping me out a little bit here. Right, let's get these speed up. Yeah. This is such like a world apart. Absolute world apart from the A320. Worlds apart. It's crazy. This The glide slope is above us according to this. We are too low. I'm not watching my speed either. My goodness. Hats off to all you Boeing pilots out there. Flipping heck. Never felt more like a fish out of water than I do now, but I appreciate you all trying to help me. I really do, genuinely. Go. Subscribe. You do what you gotta do. I wouldn't blame you. Some would say this stream is worth what you pay for it. I guess you normally sort of throttle back at about, what, 50 feet? Going a bit high. Oh, this is so difficult.
500. 400.
Don't bin it now.
300.
A bit low.
Glide slow. Glide slow. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Ooh. Are we down? I think we're down. Oof. Damn. You may need a bit of surgery. That was interesting, let's say. Blimey. What's that warning light on for? I almost feel like I didn't feel that land. I almost like I floated for ages, but then it became like I was down. Oh, it's so strange, isn't it? Like, how you just get used to doing a certain thing, and then when you're not doing that thing, you're just completely useless. Yeah, this is 737-800. I am a complete newbie on it, as that landing probably demonstrated. But the plan is to get better, the plan is to learn. Wasn't quite able to keep up with all of the tips on the way down. It's starting to get quite busy, but I do appreciate everyone trying to help, I really do. Apologies if I appeared ungrateful. I have been recording the flight actually, so I'm going to review the footage and hopefully be able to rewatch the YouTube live video as well, because I'll leave it up even though this was a terrible flight by all normal standards, and try and learn that way, I think, and also try and get a wing view of the landing, try and get a sense of, did I float for ages or did I actually touch down. I did put I've got a throttle quadrant, I've got the Airbus Thrustmaster throttle quadrant thing, and I did put it into reverse, but I don't feel like I heard it. Hey, no worries, Tom. Appreciate you stopping by as always, buddy. Appreciate it. You have a good day now. Feels like my rudder pedals are massively sensitive on this as well. I don't know if there's any way to adjust that. Forklift, are you seriously going to crash into me? Very rainy Philadelphia. No way. This is Flight Sim 2020. Yep. Or at least the spoiler's deployed. So if I... Let me try my throttle quadrant in a minute. Yeah, so reversers do work. Oh, okay. So maybe it did all work out. Anyway, while we have a standoff with this forklift truck, I do want to say thank you to everyone for coming. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate all the help. Connor, Cam, massively appreciated. There were some things there that you said coming down that I had no idea of, so I'm really glad you dropped by, so massive thanks for that. What's Connor saying? Oh, you're landing in Dublin. Fair enough, yeah. The hard part of the 737, in my opinion, is that trimming is manual, meaning, yeah, I think that's what I was struggling with on the way down. I've got a couple of buttons mapped on my joystick for the trim, and yeah, it didn't really, I felt like I was like press in one direction, then it would go too far. Then it'd be press the other direction. It's like, oh no, it's gone too far the other way, and then you end up kind of offsetting your almost your neutral position in the joystick to almost do your own trim that way. So then you kind of got to remember where your 0 points are that you've almost manually set yourself. The Airbus, you forget. So it's yeah, awesome learning experience. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to do a stream tomorrow morning, UK time, probably about 9:30 AM. Stream till about lunchtime. Not entirely sure what I'm going to fly in or where we're going to fly to. Tempted to run back to the comfort of the A320, I'm not going to lie, but we'll see what happens. Given that I'm fairly terrible in the 737, I don't want to stream too much in it because I imagine people will get fed up. But yeah, quite possibly A320/A330 for tomorrow's stream. And you're right, we do need to park up. Where's the parking brake? Is that on or off? Looks like the parking brake is on. Because we ain't moving. Oh, there we go. Red light is on. Appreciate it. Yeah, honestly, I think that's the word. Overwhelming. Sitting here now, I feel absolutely overwhelmed. Absolutely overwhelmed, well and truly. I need to sort out this sensitivity on the rudder pedals. It's not like this on the A320 either. But I think that's kind of part of the reward, isn't it? It being difficult. And, you know, persevering. Kind of most of the point, I think. For me, anyway. I think if I was at the point in Flight Sim with, if I just kind of knew everything, I'd be looking for other planes to fly, because I think I'd be getting bored. The good news is I get to mess it all up in front of you all the time, so that's good fun. From a simming aspect, you think it's more fun when in the air, what, as opposed to the A320? I can kind of see your point. But yeah, like A320 up here is kind of like if you've got heading, speed, altitude. And then they'd go into manage mode and it's like, sweet. I guess that's that. Whereas here you've got a lot more going on. A lot more. I'm still not entirely sure how the course differs from the heading. I'm going to do some reading on that tonight. And I noticed you mentioned that, Connor, on the way down. So that's going to be something to look into. And trying to figure out why those frequencies didn't take hold as well. Because I expected to get like a distance up here. Lots to learn. It's all good fun though. And with that, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to say my goodbyes and my thanks. And I shall be back at about 9:30 tomorrow morning. Heading is where you point, course is where you're going. The difference is wind. A320, once you knew everything's automatic. Yeah. You have the distance in the top left of the left panel. Oh, is it up here? I was looking down there. Was it there the whole time? Serious? Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Like I say, this stream and the ones that follow in the 737 will be full of mistakes. Oh, if you have a heavy crosswind, then where you're pointing will differ from where you're actually going. So I know I keep saying I'm going to go and then I start talking again. Will the course... The course where you're pointing will be different from where you're going. Yeah, gotcha. Cool. Man, I've got a lot of reading to do on this plane. I love that I know I've got a study level 737. I mean, it's like the whole like world of it's opening up to me. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, with that, I am going to go. I'm going to say thank you so much for everything. Especially Cam and Connor, absolute heroes on the way down there. And with a bit of luck, I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully in the comfort of my A320. And in the meantime, you will take the very best care of yourselves. And thanks again. Appreciate it.